All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Cameron Foale. I'm the IT discipline leader at Federation University Australia. And I'd like to talk to you today about some of our offerings in information technology, including our undergraduate and then postgraduate opportunities for study. Uh, Firstly, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands and waters where our campuses, centres and field centres are located. And I'm currently located in Ballarat. And so the traditional custodians for me are the Wathaurong people, and pay respects to elders past, present, and extend respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander First Nations people. Okay, so just a quick note about equity and inclusion. We really take this quite seriously. We are we pride ourselves on being inclusive, on making sure that everybody feels like they can succeed in their studies. We will make adjustments as necessary to make sure that people who have different needs are able to study. We have a couple of ongoing projects in this space to make sure that people with maybe neurodiverse backgrounds or other sorts of differences that make learning maybe gives them different learning requirements, that we're catering for everybody. So if you need adjustments, we can totally do that. If you from a care leaver background, we can make some adjustments. If you you know, if you are attending classes and you're finding it difficult to understand because people are speaking too quickly or the resources aren't in the format that you need, let us know. We are very committed to making sure that everybody has equal access to education at Federation. Okay, so why would you study IT with us? So first off, why would you study IT in general? IT is one of those fields where it touches in lots of different areas, right? So uh, compared to something with a very niche career outcome, we have graduates in IT working in all sorts of industries. So it's not just there's this idea of an IT industry and you get an IT job and you go work in the IT company and that's it. That's one pathway, but you could also go and work in banking, in entertainment, in government, doing research, in transport, health, retail, manufacturing, education, just anywhere. An IT degree can take you anywhere in the world and work in almost any industry, right? There are very few industries that do not have some sort of IT requirements. And governments around the world are starting to add requirements around IT support and security and these sorts of things. So an IT degree can take you anywhere. And we have a range of IT offerings, and each of those offerings can be applied all over the place. Yeah. So how do you get in? How do you get in to study IT? Let's say, well, the most common pathway I think that people think about is finishing year 12, finishing a VCE or equivalent, and then entering based on your ATAR. But not everybody fits into that bucket. In fact, most of our students don't come through that pathway. Let's say you finished year 12 or you've recently graduated with your VCE, but you actually don't have the prerequisites for one of our courses. There are pathways for you to still give you access to study with us. If you have studied in the past but haven't, you've gone and had a job for a long time, maybe more than a couple of years, and you want to return to study in higher education, we have a pathway for you. If you haven't actually finished secondary school, we have a pathway for you. And for international students, there are some pretty strict English language requirements. So these IELTS studies, IELTS tests. if you don't quite meet those, you can still apply to study with us. We have pathways for you as well. So what are these options? So the FAST program, the Federation Access Studies course, this is a 6-month course of study that prepares you to succeed in your higher education degree. Uh, so if you successfully complete this FAST Federation Access Studies course, it guarantees you a place in a Fed Uni degree. All right. So it's like if you haven't done any study at all for a long time, or you haven't met the prerequisites, come along, do FAST, and once you complete it, you'll have guaranteed entry into a Fed Uni degree. You could also go via a TAFE pathway. So if you have completed a certificate 3 via the TAFE path through Fed Uni TAFE or any other TAFE or RTO, that also guarantees you entry, or we will consider that very highly when assessing your application. So even if it's you may actually get credit towards your bachelor degree. So if you do an undergraduate, a TAFE degree in IT, we can look at what you've studied in that TAFE TAFE degree and potentially give you some credit. So that depends on which undergraduate. That depends on which TAFE course you've completed. But we can take a look and give you some credit for the study that you've already done. I will say that the TAFE pathways that we do have in cybersecurity in particular at Fed Uni are fantastic, very popular, and a really great way to see if you're not entirely sure about studying IT at higher education. It's a really great way to figure out whether that's something that you would like to pursue if you don't quite meet the entry requirements. Federation College is another pathway if you haven't completed secondary education. So Federation College offers the VCE vocational major and some other pathways to study and pathways to employment options. So that if you haven't completed secondary education, that gives you an equivalent. In fact, VCE vocational major is a VCE equivalent. Yep. And finally here, the English for academic purposes pathway. So if you have met all of the other entry requirements and just missed out on the English language requirements, this one will give you access into our degrees. And so the IELTS here that you can see, these scores, those are available on the course finder page so that you can understand which courses of ours have these different requirements. Okay, so let's say you're coming in through TAFE. These are the pre-specified pathways that we have. So if you have completed the TAFE Diploma of Information Technology and you want to study one of our Bachelor of IT offerings, if you complete that, it gives you 120 credit points, which is equivalent to an entire year of your undergraduate degree. You just get to skip the first year if you wish. If you are going into our professional practice degree, that gives you 60 credit points instead. The professional practice degree has some other slightly steeper requirements. And if you have completed a diploma of digital media technologies, that gives 90 credit points, which is equivalent to 1.5 semesters of full-time study. So it's you might do 8 courses in a year. It gives you 6 courses worth of credit. And then if you have any other TAFE degree, come and talk to us. If you don't have one of these two, we don't have a pre-specified, here's the amount of credit that you can get. But if you can argue or you can convince us that the undergraduate, the TAFE degree that you've done has equivalence in our bachelor degrees, talk to us. We can potentially give you credit for the work that you have already done and the studies you've already done. Relatively new with Federation University is this a Diploma of Information Technology Higher Education. So this is a 1-year diploma. It's different to the TAFE level diploma. It's a higher education diploma. And essentially what this diploma is it's the first year of our Bachelor of IT, but it has much easier entry requirements to meet. So if you don't have an ATAR, you can still come and study this Diploma of Information Technology with us. Uh, if you complete this successfully, you will get credit for that first year of the Bachelor of Information Technology, and it's very easy for you to switch across from the diploma to the Bachelor of Information Technology. So we have two pathways, two slightly different diploma pathways that will give you credit directly into our Bachelor of Information Technology courses. So here I've mentioned something, yeah, so you get some additional support here, and you get so there's additional support and a little bit more of a structured learning experience. What I mean by that is there's a little bit more face-to-face contact time. All of the lectures in the Diploma of Information Technology Higher Education are face-to-face, and it's more of a classroom style learning environment. So if that's something that suits you, this may be a reasonable pathway into the Bachelor of Information Technology. Some other pathways. One of the things that you could do is just do a single one of our units. So here you could potentially undertake one of the units in our Bachelor of IT problem solving or big data and analytics. And if you successfully complete those, that demonstrates you are capable of succeeding at university, and that would count towards your degree as well. You would get credit for having completed that unit. And then, the pathway continues. So let's say you complete your bachelor degree. We have a range of pathways to go on to further education, starting with typically an honours. So once you complete, once you graduate, you can, well, even before you graduate, once you've completed, successfully completed your Bachelor of IT course, for example, you can go and do a Bachelor of Science honours, and that's a pathway to going on to do a master's by research or a PhD potentially. All right, so let's have a look at some of our offerings. The main one, our main undergraduate offering is it's actually like there's a group of these, right? But there's this core Bachelor of Information Technology. So the Bachelor of Information Technology is our main IT undergraduate course. So you study for 3 years full time, but there are part-time options available. You can study at all of our major campuses, Mount Helen, Berwick, Gippsland, and you can study this online, of course. The entry requirements, if you've recently graduated secondary school and you have an ATAR, if you reach an ATAR of 50, you're guaranteed in. Okay. You also need to have received a study score of at least 20 in any English. So if you've got a study score of 20 in any English in units 3 and 4, and you have an ATAR of 50, you're in, right? That's a guaranteed entry. That doesn't mean you have to have an ATAR of 50. It doesn't mean you have to have that. That's just where we will guarantee entry. If you have an ATAR below that guaranteed value of 50, you may still be offered a place. Okay, so if you're interested, it's still worth applying. If you have done well in your in units 3 and 4, or units 3 and 4 in business, IT, or maths, you can get some bonus points. So if you've got a study score of 35 or higher in any business, IT, or maths, you can get a bonus 3 points for each one of those, up to a total of 5. a maximum of 5. So if you've done IT and business in your VCE studies, for example, then you can bump up your ATAR by 5 points for the purposes of um, applying for the Bachelor of Information Technology. I've got some structure here, which I might go into in a little bit more detail in a moment. But the idea with the core Bachelor of Information Technology is that the first year here is mostly the same for everybody. For almost all cases, this is the same 8 subjects that everybody does in the first year of the Bachelor of Information Technology and all of its variants, which means once we have a look at those, you can switch between them. In your second and third year, if you just enroll in the Bachelor of Information Technology, there are 2 IT electives per year and 2 just general electives per year. So an IT elective is one from a list of units that we deliver within our IT discipline, and those are things like big data management and things like this. They're very IT centric, but the general electives you can take, there's a list, but they're from all across the university. So if you wanted to take a language, or you wanted to do some creative writing or some media or something like this, that's totally an option. And I'll also just highlight in the final year, 2 of the course subjects are our capstone project. A capstone, the analogy here is a capstone is if you're building a wall, you put a fancy stone on the top to cap it off. It's sort of say, all right, it's finished, right? So our capstone project, you work with an industry client to build something that actually is really important to them. They have a need, they propose a project, we assign a team of students to go and work with them with supervision from us and support, and these teams build something, and it's fantastic. Really often the businesses integrate that work and start using it in their daily activities. Okay, so what are these various other options? So the Bachelor of Information Technology, you can absolutely just enroll in this course and pick and choose your own IT electives here. But we've kind of put together some pre-made selections of these IT electives uh, with a with a with a career outcome in mind for each one of those. And these specializations are networking and security, software development, big data and analytics, and business information systems. So essentially they all share the same structure as the Bachelor of Information Technology, but those 4 IT electives are pre-chosen. So that's these 4 here. Now, if you graduate from one of these courses, the title of your degree will be Bachelor of Information Technology, and then in parentheses networking and security, or then in parentheses software development. It'll actually be written on your testament when you graduate. The other option here is the professional practice, the Bachelor of IT professional practice. Now, this is slightly different, but it does still build on the same foundations of the Bachelor of Information Technology. What makes the professional practice special is that it comes with a 1,600-hour internship embedded from the second year. So after that, it still has the same mostly common first year. And I'll talk about what the mostly part is in a moment. But it's almost the same first year as all of the others. So if you're in the Bachelor of Information Technology and you complete the first year and you meet the requirements, you can apply to transfer to the professional practice without losing any time. However, it is a slightly longer. So you can do it in 3 years, right? Most students do this in 3 years, including summer semesters, because we have to make some space for you to do the internship. Um, uh, yeah. Now we'll get to some more info on the professional practice in a moment. But you can absolutely choose this to get started and then see how you feel. And if you enjoy the units that you're doing on software development, maybe after the first year you say, well, I'm going to switch across. Similarly, if you had started doing one of these specializations and you weren't sure about it after the first year, you can switch to something else and you won't have lost any time. Okay. And this is doable because we have this common first year. So every Bachelor of IT shares a common first year. And so this gives you a common grounding and an introduction to those areas of specialization. So in semester one, we cover some fundamentals of information technology and how we work together, how we talk with each other, a broad coverage of the IT industry and the technology in it. We look at the foundations of how to do programming, how to work with databases, how to set up online clouds servers, and we also include some game development, which is a really great way to understand digital media as well as interactive systems and build that foundation of understanding how IT is about how humans connect with technology. So here's where the mostly part of the common first year falls in. These two units are slightly different in the professional practice, the software development, and the big data and analytics courses. However, if you have done either of these, we'll give you credit for the other if you wish to transfer. So it doesn't really affect this idea that you get to the end of the first year and you would like to switch. You still have that option for either of those. So it's a mostly common first year. All right. We offer all of these online, except for the professional practice, which is only available on campus at Medhallen and at Berwick. If you're interested in coming and studying on campus, the Bachelor of IT is offered at Medhallen, Berwick, and our Gippsland Churchill campus. And the others are available on campus at Medhallen and at Berwick campus. Okay, I'll just briefly touch on what each of these streams is about. So the business information systems, that's the Bachelor of IT. Bachelor of IT Business Information Systems is about looking at the way that businesses work and how they can implement information technology systems to improve the way that people work. It's looking for efficiencies, it's looking for improvements to workflows, it's looking for improvements of consistencies of outcomes, these sorts of things, making informed decisions, managing IT staff, all sorts of cool stuff like that. The networking and security stream, cybersecurity is a big and popular topic at the moment. This is about constructing networks in a secure and safe way, and thinking about how businesses can set up practices to ensure their information security and that they're working in ways that protect their customers' data. Big data and analytics is about how can we take large volumes of data, internet scale volumes of data, what are the practices that we can use to manage, interpret, collect, visualize this data, and how can we make decisions? Just one second. You'll notice that this business analytics and decision support exists in both of these. How can we make decisions based on this data? The software development stream is about how can we create software that enables people to do interesting things with computers. So it's all about becoming a programmer. Um, and so our course is agile coding, software engineering, dynamic web development, data structures and algorithms. These are all programming units uh, in different languages, different programming languages. So you get a good understanding of uh, not only how to program, but you get hands-on experience in a few different ways of doing it. And then finally, the Bachelor of IT Professional Practice, uh, highly desirable, competitive entry. There is actually an interview process attached to um, joining this course. You do an interview not only with Federation University staff, but also with our industry partners, IBM, Kyndryl, and Westpac. And there is a a set of industry relevant electives in that are available outside of the professional practice as well. But if you're working, for example, in Kyndryl, you would really benefit from studying mainframe, uh, and that because that's where they're looking for most of their interns in their mainframe division. Okay, this is essentially a 4-year course, but you undertake it over 3 years because we had some work over summer to squeeze that in. Typically, summer's it's quite a few months of downtime if you're doing a 3-year course. So there is space in there to do a little bit of extra study to squeeze this into 3 years instead of 4. Okay, after that, what we have is if you've completed this and you're looking for pathways on, or you've already got a bachelor degree in IT, and you wanted to do some further study, a Bachelor of Science Honours is a really great pathway to a PhD, if that's where you wanted to go. It gives you a really great foundation in doing research. You get paired with a supervisor or a team of supervisors. You will typically be given a research project, although you can propose one yourself if it's a good fit. And then basically you spend 2 semesters doing research. Um, you do some subjects in here that let you do build a literature review and do all of the build a methodology, um, write a thesis, do a presentation. These are all these sorts of research activities. It's really great if you're interested in becoming a researcher as a career. Okay, our postgraduate courses, uh, our main most popular postgraduate courses are our Master of Technology offerings. So we have 2 streams in this, and unlike the Bachelor of IT, there is no non-streamed version. You have to choose one of these 2. So you can undertake the Master of Technology Enterprise Systems and Business Analytics, or the Master of Technology Software Engineering. Uh, as it sounds, software engineering is almost an extension of a software development undergraduate degree. It looks at uh, enterprise level uh, software design, development practices that you might implement to do software engineering. Very in-depth look at how software testing is done, and it's looking at all of this at a higher level than in the undergraduate units. Yeah. The enterprise systems and business analytics, that's mostly focused around how we can take these huge scale software systems, in particular SAP, which is they like to call themselves the largest or company you've never heard of. SAP write software for managing the breadth of large enterprises. Uh, and so this enterprise systems and business analytics gives you a really good foundation in SAP and can lead you up to, but it doesn't include certification with SAP. There are no electives in this. It's all set out in advance. There are 8 core subjects in the first year, and then 4 core subjects in the second year, plus a significant capstone project that is worth the equivalent of 4 other courses. Uh, and then finally, a new offering for us, the Master of Applied Cybersecurity, which launched for us this year. Uh, Currently doing really, really well. Um, this in the Master of Applied Cybersecurity, every student is supported by an industry mentor. We have a group of industry mentors across the cybersecurity industry, people both in Australia and internationally. And you get paired up with one of these mentors early in the program, early in your studies, and uh, you can seek advice from them. They can ultimately work with you on your final capstone project. Fantastic. And we have some really good industry mentors in there set up. Uh, uh, so this is a really unique offering. It does mean that um, uh, uh, we are looking for more more mentors if as this get builds in popularity. But at the moment, we have quite a few in reserve, ready to go, who are looking for students to work with. So a really fantastic opportunity to work with somebody in industry while you get your master's degree. Okay, so that's all of our offerings. Um, there is another one which is our data science offering that you that is a collaboration between our information technology and engineering disciplines. That's a really great course. There is some more information on that available on Fed Universe as well. So why would you study with us? So we are ranked number one in Australia for first generation student enrolments. For people who are new to university and don't have a long family history of university study, we do a fantastic job of making you feel welcome, ensuring that you hit the ground running and get the support you need. We really do pride ourselves on that student contact and being available to answer questions and make sure that you understand what you need to do. Um, According to the Good Universities Guide 2023, you are more likely to get a full-time job if you graduate from Federation University than from any other Victorian university. We're also number one in Victoria for starting salary, for social equity, for student support in our undergraduate courses. And we're in the top 5 universities in Victoria for skills development. We do fantastic uh, student support. We have a range of programs and support options for you if you need to access them from time to time. Um, we have on-campus childcare at Mount Helen and Gippsland campuses, which can be very important for the part-time study in particular, or somebody who's studying with kids. Um, Lots of support options. Um, we also have a range of scholarships, bursaries, and grants. So if you are coming in with a really high uh, performance, we can offer some options as well. But there are other options for scholarships and bursaries besides just academic achievement. Um, So have a look at our federation.edu.au/scholarships site and see if there are any options that are available for you as well. Um, yeah. Uh, Now, I just wanted to raise here co-op. I believe later uh, there will be a session on co-op um, at the virtual open day, talking about this in much more depth. But co-op is this idea that we work really closely with key employers and other industry partners to make sure that our courses are not only meeting their needs, but are also designed and delivered in collaboration with them so that um, we're teaching the things that industry are looking for. Um, so this includes access to competitive paid internships in all of our Bachelor of IT courses, subject to availability going forward. Um, Additionally, every Federation Co-op undergraduate degree, of which the Bachelor of IT is one of these, um, will include uh, foundation workplace skills. We have gone through and done an exhaustive uh, review of all of our courses and made sure that we are covering all of the types of other skills that are not just working with computers and doing database analysis and these sorts of things, but also how to work together with other people. Our industry partners have been telling us very loudly and very clearly that there are additional needs, additional skill needs outside of those that are just the hands-on computing IT skills, but also how we work together. Uh, and we've made sure that we are doing a fantastic job of covering that. And additionally, there's these industry-facing learning opportunities. So for us, that's in the form of capstone projects for every student. Uh, we will set up an industry client for you to work with and make sure that you understand how to talk to people in a professional uh, in a professional situation. So we've been doing placements for quite a while, these sorts of industry placements, and we're part of the plan is to expand this. But this is particularly looking at the industry placement program, which is a way that you can get some credit for doing some workplace activity. So our industry placement program comes with an up to $15,000 scholarship. It's full-time or part-time. It's the 800 or 400 hours. And we have placement opportunities all over the place. Now, these have fantastic outcomes. 67% of uh, graduates who had completed the industry placement program with an employer got a job with them. All right, so if you are interested in employment outcomes, this is a really good pathway to establish a connection with an industry partner. How do you apply? All of the information that you need in terms of entry requirements and any other requirements are available on our website. You can apply online through VTAC, or if you don't meet the requirements for VTAC entry, you can do a direct application. Go to our website /apply for some more information on this. And get in touch. We are often posting on our socials about what's happening, what's upcoming events, more information, and other opportunities to engage with us.